Michael Jimenez. Halftime.
It's halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com. What's going on? My name is Michael Jimenez, your host from 12 to 2. Here at halftime, we talk sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. It's Tuesday, which means it's Tuesdays with Teague. Carolina Teague in the house today. What's going on, CT?
What's going on, Mike?
I'm excited because we get to talk about conversations and topics that we would never normally talk about here at halftime when Carolina is here. For example, at 12:45, we'll be talking about the Tinder swindler and bad dates.
Perfect.
The history of bad dates, dating apps, and things like that. Obviously, it's a sports talk show. You know, we're going to be talking about the Spurs last night, lost a heartbreaker to the Chicago Bulls. It was a close game, and we'll get into that. At 12:25, Emmitt Smith. You know, that interview he gave with San Antonio Sports Star is going national. It was on ESPN's Get Up this morning.
Period.
And I have a question here. Is it okay for an all-time great to criticize his or her own team?
Oh, that's a good
The
question.
old team, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to get into that as well. But, man, we have a really big show today. I'm excited because Carolina Teague is here with me. Now, last night, the Spurs lost to the Chicago Bulls 120-109. Doesn't sound like it was close, but to be honest with you, it was. The Spurs were within 2 points with 2:30 to go last night. But, man, DeMar DeRozan went off. Had a monster game last night. 40 points on 16 of 24 shooting. DeMar DeRozan, he was getting chance last night of MVP, and he should. Because right now, CT, would you believe it if I told you that in my eyes, DeMar DeRozan's now top 3 in the MVP race?
I think he should win the MVP. Him and Joker is between the both of them. So it doesn't surprise me. He's been scoring. How many games is it now? 5 in a row where he's 35 and up?
5 in a row. Actually, it's been 6 in a row,
6 in a
35
row
and
now.
up.
Okay.
7 in a row, 30 and up.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, the last 7 games, 40 points, 38, 35, 36, 38, 45, and 31. An average of 36 points per game the last 7 games.
Wow.
He's now averaging 28 points a game for the season. The dude is on fire.
Period.
Again, it's different than when he was with the Spurs, okay? Because
definitely.
it's all about how you fit within a system, right?
Yeah.
And when I think about fitting within a system, I think about Derek White.
Right.
I like Derek White as a player. He's a decent player.
Doesn't seem like it.
Doesn't seem like what?
That you like him sometimes. But we're not ready to have that conversation. We're still talking about DeMar.
Well, we'll be talking about DeMar, but the point I was trying to say with Derek White, though, is that you can like him as a player and think that he'll be good for certain teams, but it doesn't mean that he's good for every team.
Correct.
Okay? And that's my thing with Derek White. But I mentioned this because, you know, we've seen DeMar DeRozan flourish elsewhere. There's no way in the world he would have done that here in San Antonio because we did not have the roster needed for him to have those types of games over here. He was asked to do too much over here. Now, don't get me wrong, he's getting 20, 24 shots a game over there.
Right.
But that lineup over there with Vucevic down low, Kobe White doing his thing, it just kind of goes towards his strengths is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. And he did play incredible last night. 19 of his points were in the fourth quarter. So he just went off. He's a mid-range assassin. That's him. DeMar DeRozan. Great job. I think the silent sleeper last night for the Bulls was Kobe White. I mean, we can always expect Vucevic to, create shots and play well offensively. But Kobe White was a silent sleeper yesterday, and it is what it is. You can play really good defense. I mean, I think the Spurs played great defense. They were even double teaming DeMar DeRozan at some point. But when you are the mid-range assassin like DeMar DeRozan and you are potential candidate for MVP, it's going to be really hard to stop somebody like that. And then you have the result that you have last night.
I think the Spurs played great last night. They were moving the ball in a way that I hadn't seen in a long, long time. And they were paced last night by Lonnie Walker.
Yep.
So we're going to get into that in about 5 minutes or so. Lonnie Walker, do we need to revisit him? Is it possible that maybe we were wrong? That maybe we should consider re-signing him the offseason? Because I left him for dead a couple of weeks ago, but since the Derek White trade, he seems to be a different player. He seems to be moving the ball differently. He seems to have a different role, and he's thriving in that role. So we're going to get into that in a few minutes. But, we're live on Facebook and YouTube right now. Search San Antonio Sports Star. Like and subscribe. You can check us out. Leave a comment or two. At around 1:30, we'll give out a prize, if you will. Not a prize, but an attaboy or an attagirl to what we think is the best comment of the day. Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN. If you want to talk about Lonnie Walker, DeMar DeRozan, the Spurs, this is your segment to do it. Again, 656 ESPN. We're also on Twitter. I'm at Mike ESPN SA. Carolina's at Carolina Teague _. James Pledger's producing the show. He is at I Am Pledger. We're going to have a good time and a good show today. Again, Kielbasa Bacon phone lines open 656 ESPN. But yesterday was Valentine's Day.
Yes, it was.
And it means different things for guys as it is to girls.
Definitely.
But last night, how was your Valentine's Day?
It was really good. Actually, my man, he took me out to Bob's Chop and Steakhouse over there at the Rim. First time ever going there. Never ever been to Bob's in my entire life, but I saw the picture of their gigantic brownie and I really wanted to try it.
Nice.
So I was like, you're taking me to Bob's. We went. It was super romantic. Probably one of the best steakhouses I've ever been to in San Antonio. And I really enjoyed their cream corn. They had mac and cheese. I'm really picky about mac and cheese.
Yeah.
And every time I eat mac and cheese, I always want to taste some Lowry's in it. I don't know if you know what Lowry's is, the Lowry seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
I need to taste Lowry's in my mac and cheese. If I don't taste Lowry's, then I'm kind of picky about it. But it was still a good mac and cheese. And really good steak, super yummy. Also, then one of my homies from back in the day, he texted me and he said, "Hey, I saw that you were at Bob's last night." And I was like, "Okay, cool." He was like, "Oh, I used to work there. I used to be a cook at Bob's." And I was like, "No way." And he was like, "You need to, the brownie is over." Oh, we never got to the brownie because we were so full. That was the whole reason why we went. And then he said to me, "You need to try the cheesecake at Bob's. Don't try the brownie. The brownie's overwhelming. Get the cheesecake." And then he said, "Try the cream spinach." So if you guys are watching or you guys are listening and you guys want to try Bob's, the cook is telling me himself, get the cream spinach and get the cheesecake and get the tomahawk steak.
Very nice. Some insider information right there at Bob's. We also had a steakhouse last night. It was called Casa de Jimenez. Last night, I made my wife a sirloin steak with a stuffed baked potato. We had green beans with that. I mean, it was a Caesar salad. I also had those jalapeno poppers as well. So I had that going. Got my wife a dozen long stem roses earlier in the day.
Awesome.
So, that was kind of how I celebrated Valentine's Day last night. I didn't mind cooking last night. I'm trying to get a little bit better at it. I wish I could learn how to grill better or barbecue better. That's going to be my goal this year. 2022 is the year for me to learn how to grill better or barbecue or smoke, whatever you call it. I don't even know the terminology,
right?
But we're going to get into that. But speaking of terminology, I heard the phrase Galentine's Day.
Yes.
And I was on Twitter yesterday and I was going through and I saw a photo of you with hashtag Galentine's Day. And I saw Jill Jelnick, a friend of the show, who was on the show with us a couple of weeks ago. First of all, what is Galentine's Day? What did you do? I thought you had to be single to celebrate this. That's one thing. And how did Jill Jelnick get involved?
So, first of all, we decided to do Galentine's. You don't have to be single to do Galentine's, but usually it does go to single women. And we basically want to spoil each other. We want to give each other gifts, especially if you're single. You want to be exchanging gifts with your single friends because a man isn't going to, spoil us on Valentine's Day because we have no man. So that's essentially what Galentine's is supposed to be. But now, over the years, it's evolved until you have all your girlfriends come together. And in our situation, we did a flower exchange. So we all bought each other a flower bouquet and gave each other roses and flowers because we like flowers. We like roses. Jill got involved. I have no clue because she was there was 5 girls in our group text. Jill was not in the group text. Next thing you know, we get to the restaurant and our surprise was Jill. She found out about the situation and she popped up on us and she lives in Nashville, which is the coolest part.
Yes, Jill Jelnick is a sportscaster with Fox 17 in Nashville, Tennessee. She was on our show talking about the Titans when the Titans were still in the playoffs before they lost to the Bengals. Jill Janik is very, very nice. But I saw that photo. I was like, Jill, she's in town. She's somebody that I've, talked to on the radio, talked to on the phone. We text each other. We tweet at each other. Never met her in person.
What?
I've never
You've
met
never
her in
met
person.
Jill in person?
No.
What?
And
You have to.
she's fantastic. And I love her on
Very.
YOLO, Texas as well. Hey, I need to get Pledger in on something real fast. So Carolina's talking about Galentine's Day. I think on March 14th, we should have Palentine's Day. What do you think about that, Pledge, where we get the boys together and we exchange something? It could be cologne. We could exchange.
March 14th is already a holiday.
Oh, that's
Yes,
right.
it is.
Okay,
It is a holiday already.
Okay,
Can't do it.
Okay,
I'm not
yes.
taking that from the married men.
I explained that. I explained what that was, and I'm not going to get into it. Just Google
Well,
it.
you know today's Side Chick Day.
Side Chick Day, yes. I
Today
understand
is
that.
National Side Chick
From
Day.
what I understand, you're supposed to give old Halloween candy to your side chick because it says it's for my boo because it says scary stuff on there, right? But okay, so we won't do March 14th, but maybe we'll do, March 7th or something like that, where guys get together, exchange bourbons, exchange golf balls or something like that. But I'm for. I got to figure that one out.
Can I tell you something?
What's up?
That sounds boring.
But guys are boring.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like ours is fun. Like we drink wine, we
Top
exchange
golf is
gifts.
fun. Top golf is fun.
Yeah, but you guys, it has to be like you have to really start a wave. You have to get every guy in the nation to come together as a collective and have a guy Valentine's.
You know what? I'm gonna make this happen. I'm gonna figure this
to.
out. Hey, speaking about figuring things out, has Lonnie Walker figured things out with the Spurs? Last week, Derek White was traded from the Spurs to the Boston Celtics, and Lonnie has looked good. Now, again, a few games ago against the Hawks, he barely played, so I'm not going to really hold that against him. But the last two games, 30 minutes and 26 minutes. He had 21 points on 9 of 17 shooting yesterday against the Bulls. And against the Pelicans, he had 17 points on 8 of 13 shooting. That's a combined 17 for 30. Okay, that's almost 60%.
Very
and
good.
The thing about it is, and I was talking to Rob Thompson from R&R in the Morning earlier today, and I was like, do you notice that Lonnie Walker looks different when Derek is not out there? And it's not to say that he's never played out there without Derek, but he seems to kind of, when he was out there, he was basically playing with Derek at most times.
Right.
But Lonnie looked free yesterday. He looked like he could space out. They were giving him the ability to dribble in and out and drive in. It was almost like they were forcing him to play like Doug McDermott, where he's off the ball, going around screens, trying to set up and be a setup shooter and whatnot. Like they were forcing him to do that. But with Derek White not there, he was now able to handle the ball. He was the second person to touch the ball when DeJounte Murray didn't have it. And Lonnie looked good yesterday, man. He looked really good.
He did. He looked really good.
So is it just me? Am I just a prisoner of the moment, or is this something where it's like, oh, he's just an inconsistent player and he just happened to have two really good games?
No, I think you might be onto something. I like the points that you brought up, but I do think that you did move the goalpost a little bit because you said game one you're going to omit that particular game.
You can't.
Why are we omitting it?
Because it skews the stats because he didn't play. He played a couple of minutes.
He played 13 minutes.
Right, that's barely a quarter.
Right, but I still think because he barely played, it should still count. He only made 2 points. And he made critical errors in that moment for where he was taken out. But I do believe for the past 2 games, he's been on fire. And I think he's been great coming off the bench. So, I think you're right when there's something to say where his role and the type of shots that he's taking and his ball handling skills have been a little bit different now that Derek White is gone. But I don't think it's due to Derek White. Like I don't blame Derek White. I blame coaching more than anything.
No, I don't. It's not blaming Derek White. Okay, again,
Okay.
The thing about it is that his skill set needs to be sliced and diced amongst 2 or 3 other players, and we've seen that. We've seen Devin Vassell come up and assume the starting minutes. Now he had 2 good games. He had an off night last night. Devin Vassell was only 5 points on 2 of 10 shooting, missed all 4 3-point shots. But Vassell, the prior 2 games was looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna have an off night from time to time.
Correct.
But what I'm seeing here is that what Derek White was able to do maybe could not be done by one player within the Spurs roster, but it can be split up between two players and they could bring other things to the table.
Mhm,
Devin Vassell has the ability to guard three different positions.
mhm,
You have Lonnie Walker out there who's able to penetrate and able to handle the ball.
mhm.
That's the thing about Lonnie Walker is that Lonnie Walker is not a player who normally handles the ball with the Spurs. But
Right.
the past couple of games, we've been seeing him more and more handling it. And because of that, he's able to drive in. And he was very confident in finishing certain plays. And oh my God, if you saw that dunk in the third quarter that he did,
Mhm.
that tomahawk on that breakaway, I swear, CT, I think he let out 3 years worth of frustration on one play.
I mean, he's played really aggressive the past few games. He
But-
looks more confident too.
But when the ball went through the hoop, though, and he came down,
Mhm.
he is Mr. Bad body language. And yesterday's body language was, I belong.
Right.
He's a free agent this year. It's not going to be much to keep him because he doesn't have that much value outside of, well, anywhere, actually.
Uh-huh.
He's considered to be a bench player. But CT, Spurs have, $40 million or so in salary cap space this year. Spurs
Yeah.
have 3 first-round draft picks. I mean, would you be opposed to them throwing $6 to $7 million a year at Lonnie Walker to see if we can keep him here for another 1 or 2 years?
That sounds like a good figure, just depending on how he plays out for the rest of the season without Derek White. If he is like this, like the way he's been the past 2 days, and you don't see that inconsistency that we've seen throughout the whole season, I think that's a great figure for him coming off the bench.
Yeah, he's making about $4.5 million right now. So
Yeah.
it would be a
A
raise.
small increase. But they have they're gonna have about 40 million in cap space that they freed up.
Depending on certain holds that are there. I mean,
Mhm.
I think in the best of ways, it could be that way.
Mhm.
It's probably closer to the mid-30s, but right now the Spurs are 22-36. Right now are 2 games outside the play-in tournament. Okay,
Yes.
it was 1 game, but Portland won last night, and they kind of stretched out to 2 games. So right now, you mentioned the phrase "move the goalpost."
Yes.
Okay,
That's one of my favorite terms all time.
yeah,
People love to move the goalpost. I'm not saying I'm using that for you, but I did. But
and people like to accuse me of either flip-flopping or just changing my mind on certain things. But Pledger gave me a break yesterday because I have said for the longest time that I'm a fan of Team Tank. I want the Spurs to get the best draft pick possible.
uh-huh.
But everything changed the moment Derek White was traded, because suddenly I'm taking a look at the lineup, and if you had asked me when the season started, who would you want as a starting lineup? I would have wanted DeJounte at point. I would have wanted Devin Vassell at 2, Keldon at 3, McBuckets at 4, and Pirtle at 5. I got what I asked for.
You did. You did.
And Thad Young, they flipped him for a first. Bryn Forbes, they kicked to the curb.
Yep.
I got a couple of second rounders for him.
Uh-huh.
And then you turn around and you get Derek White out and because I didn't think that he fit. I don't think he complemented what DeJounte Murray does out there. It's not that he's a bad player, it's just a bad fit. CT, if you have 2 friends, one's a guy, one's a girl, both nice people, both attractive or unattractive or whatever, and you try to pair them together as a couple, doesn't mean it's going to fit.
Right.
They're just 2 good people.
Exactly. That doesn't mean that there's chemistry.
Right.
Right.
And that's the thing. I never thought that chemistry existed offensively when it came to Derek White and DeJounte Murray. Defensively, it was there.
Yeah.
Offensively, I didn't think it was there. But taking a look at that, though, do you think that it's hypocritical for me to go, hey, man, if they get a good pick, great. If they make the play-in tournament, great, because that's where I'm at right now.
No, I don't. Well, actually, yeah, it is hypocritical. Yeah, it is. Like, now that I'm really thinking about it, it is hypocritical. If now all of a sudden, because we're talking about moving goalposts, well, technically, I don't know. I guess all these moves and all these trades that just happened, you can technically move the goalposts because now you have a new team to look at since you did from the beginning of the season. And now you can say whether you want them to make the play-in tournament or not based off of the roster that's in front of you. However, you've been Team Tank. You've been a Team Tank turtle the whole entire time, all the way up into this point. So the people who don't really know this in-depth stuff, who don't listen to the show every day, who don't know all that stuff, they're gonna think that you're a flip-flopper for sure.
Oh, I
because
get
they
that.
don't listen to the show and they
get
don't
that.
hear you explain the reasons why. But I do see how that type of person can see your hypocrisy because you've been Team Tank Turtle the whole time on Twitter, polls all day long about how they should tank, and arguing even with me on Twitter about if they should tank. And then now all of a sudden you're like, maybe they can make the play-in tournament. No, you need to keep the same energy, Michael, that you've had all season long.
Pledge is nodding no over there.
Just because there was a roster change, he could make a decision. Okay, so then if that's the case, then we can all make all little slight adjustments.
If the Chicago Bears are a playoff team and they are Super Bowl caliber, and Justin Fields tears his ACL in week 17, does that information change your status on them being a Super Bowl caliber team going forward?
Yes, it does.
Same principle.
It's the same principle. Hold on. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is the same principle. So maybe when you dumb it down for me and talk to me like I'm 5, then yeah, I get it. But at the same time, you got to keep that same energy just a little bit.
Okay, the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN. Who's right? Who's wrong? Should the Spurs tank? Should we really be looking forward to that? Am I a hypocrite for suddenly not caring whether they tank or not? Because things have changed.
All I'm saying is that
my lineup is out there. The lineup that I wanted.
They're gonna think you're a hypocrite.
I don't care.
They're gonna think you're a hypocrite. That's all I'm trying to say.
Call in Kielbasa Bacon phone lines. Call me a hypocrite if you think so. 656 ESPN. And we're going to be talking more about the Spurs in the 1 o'clock hour as well. But I love riling up Carolina Teague. Fantastic.
They're going to think you're a hypocrite, Michael.
Hey, you know what? Circumstances changed. And the lineup that I wanted back in October is now the lineup out there on the court. So I like what I see.
What if you're lying to us?
Primo getting minutes?
No. You're not lying to us?
I have the tapes. I have 4 months worth of tapes where I'm saying
receipts.
Get Bryn Forbes out of here. Get Derek White out of here. Get Thad Young out of here. Get something for Thad. Get something for Bryn. Get something for Derek White. Get Primo out of Austin. Play him 20, 25 minutes. Get Lonnie Walker more involved. I've been asking for this the entire year, and now it's here. Oh my God, Brian Wright.
So did you manifest this whole thing?
Brian Wright.
Sounds like it.
GM Brian Wright might actually listen to this show.
It sounds like it.
He might actually exist because I can no longer diss that guy because he's doing what I asked, man. This is the team that I wanted, baby. And right now, last night.
Power manifestation.
Last night, the New Orleans Pelicans beat the living crap out of the Toronto Raptors. And why do I care? It's because that draft pick that we got from the Raptors has moved up from the 19th spot to the 18th spot. It's all about draft capital, baby. Cheer against the Raptors. Cheer against the Boston Celtics. But man, halftime's here until 2 o'clock. Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open. Don't be shy. 656 ESPN. And when we come back, we're going to be talking not only about the Spurs, if you want to talk about the Spurs, but Emmitt Smith. He gave an interview to San Antonio Sports Star at Radio Row at Super Bowl 56 that has suddenly gone viral to the point where it was on ESPN's Get Up this morning. If you missed what he had to say, let's just say he's critical about a certain member of the Dallas Cowboys. He walks the sidelines. This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Here we go again. Baseball owners and players can't agree on a new contract. The owners have locked players out. The players have refused a federal arbitrator. And no one's playing ball anytime soon. What will this mean for spring training? What will it do to the regular season? Will there even be a regular season? Stay connected and be in the know. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Water stains on the shower glass. Try rubbing some shaving cream on them.
Tyler's cleaning crew knows every housekeeping trick in the book.
Handling timesheets now.
but they need a proper bookkeeper to keep finances tidy.
New equipment is a business expense, right?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Joel, after all these years of working together, I think of us as a team.
Okay.
So this year, I've entered us into a rodeo event.
Oh, joy.
Team roping. It's all about partnership, timing, skill. It's perfect.
What are you wearing?
Joel, don't be silly. These chaps, I found them lying around in the office.
Those are called rugs. And what are you doing with the rope?
Practice it. Step back, my friend.
Folks, just like the rodeo, here at Quarter Moon, we're all about teamwork. From the people in the office who take your call to the technician that comes to your house, we're all focused on fixing your problems fast and getting a perfect score on the first go-around. Nigel, that's not how you rope, and we're inside, so be careful.
I think I might need more practice. Joel, please tell the front office to hold my calls. I'm tied up at the moment.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899.
License number M13229 DACLA 000743445E.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
So I used the savings from switching to Progressive 30 years ago to buy tickets to the championship game. You know, between those two teams that didn't exist 30 years ago. Yeah, I'm a big Alaska Palm Trees fan, which is a team now in the future.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and three-time champion.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about joint pain.
Trust me, I know about joint pain. Sure, I made it look easy, but if my body could speak, it would say, I'm in pain.
Are you living with chronic joint pain? Knees, hips, lower back, shoulders? Don't just assume the old treatments are the only treatments.
I've gone under the knife to get rid of pain, but now there are options, and you need to check them out.
Emmett's talking about QC Kinetics, exciting new natural biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints. New options now available here.
You can encourage your body to actually heal itself with the help of QC Kinetics.
Real relief with no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics for regenerative restorative treatments with lasting relief.
But now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
Start now with a free consultation at QC Kinetics. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Call today, 571-0318.
Giving you an excuse for a long lunch break. This is Halftime with Michael Jimenez on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Welcome back to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. On the go at sasportstar.com. It's Tuesdays with Teague.
Hey, guys.
You know,
I got them triggered. First of all, they're triggered in the back.
Oh,
Pledger's yelling at me. He's screaming. Michael's screaming at me. They're triggered.
Pledger was laughing during the commercial break, and whenever I know this, he's laughing, it's because someone's calling in. And usually, he has a tell. It's kind of like a poker tell, where if I see him on the phone getting somebody calling in, and if it's someone, if he's not really reacting too much, it's because they agree with me. But if someone does not agree with me, he starts laughing, right?
To be fair, I was laughing at the fact that Carolina said, oh, okay, when you break it down like that, like I'm a 5-year-old, I get it.
Because that's a good point. That's a good point.
So-
when you break things down to be like I'm 5, sometimes we all need that.
So for those of you who did not catch the first segment, by the way, I'm sorry, Carolina. We're talking about the fact that I've been a part of Team Tank, and I've wanted the Spurs to lose a lot of games in order for them to get a good draft pick. But I have changed my mind ever since they got rid of Bryn Forbes, Thad Young, and most importantly, they got rid of Derek White, which I was very, very, very supportive of. And because of that, they're playing the players that I wanted out there from the beginning. So I'm excited about that. But Carolina, you've been calling me a flip-flopper, a hypocrite this entire time.
I'm not calling you that. I'm just saying people are going to think you are a hypocrite. People are going to think you are a flip-flopper. And since we're talking about breaking things down like 5-year-olds, Pledger, if I go to Starbucks and I order an iced mocha latte, and then when I get to the window, I decide to have a caramel frap, and I tell the waiter, hey, can I get a caramel frap instead? I changed my mind because this sounds like it's a better deal. Yeah, they're going to give me my caramel frap, but they're still going to be annoyed that I changed my mind.
You know what? We're gonna leave this to the people out here. We have Mundo on line 1. Dude, am I a hypocrite?
No. No, because the makeup of the team changed.
Woo! Mundo, preach, baby.
But the thing about it is I'm Team Tank, and I've been watching the Spurs since Gervin and Gilmore. And this is the time to tank with the players that we had. They were not ready for the playoffs, and the experience wasn't there. So now you have these young kids that need that experience. So let's get in the playoffs, even if they lose. Let's get in and get them some experience. And you know what? Experience is what's going to count. You know, the draft picks, they've got a top 4 protected this year from somebody. So that's going to be a good pick. Hey, partner that up with the Spurs and then get into that if you get out of the top 10 with your own pick.
Hey, Mundo,
so
wait till
you can put it together.
Wait till we see Josh Richardson out there. That's a player that the Spurs got in that trade with the trade with Derek White. Wait till he goes out there. This is a player that has averaged as high as 16.6 points per game. He did that with the
Langford
Heat.
was a lottery pick.
Yeah.
Langford was a lottery pick. And he's been hurt over the last 3 years. He's not played many games.
Man,
so you have 2 kids, you have 2 young guys there that if the Spurs staff can get healthy, you have no idea what you have on your hands, considering then you have some draft picks coming up. So you have no idea what you're getting at this time right now. And you still have 2 months in a regular season, not one or 2 games. So you still have time to play with to get these guys whatever you're looking for as an organization. You still have to find out what they have, because they're not going to get it in the summer league, because the summer league, there's nobody there for them to play against. Okay. They're just other rookies.
Mundo, I got a question for you. Okay, sure. So Mike's not a hypocrite, right? In your opinion. However, you are still Team Tank still, correct?
Right now? No.
No. Okay, so you also changed your opinion.
I want them to get now into the playoffs because of the young players that they have that have not experienced the playoffs yet. And as you see, the teams that are winning, that have won over the years, have to go through the hardship cases of the playoffs and lose in the first round, second round, and learn how to win. They haven't even learned how to win in the regular season yet.
Okay, so
we're losing games that we could have possibly won, but they don't know. And possibly with this new lineup and these new players, that's where the cohesiveness might come into play for these guys here at the end.
Mundo, thank you so much for the phone call, and thank you for agreeing with me. On line 2, we have former Rock the Mic champ. We got 3 Rock the Mic champs on one show. Quinn Hudson. What's going on, Quinn?
Hi, Quinn.
Oh, hello. And you know what? I want to formally introduce myself. Also a Judson graduate.
Period.
So much love. Rocket Pride cannot be denied. But listen, Michael. You are absolutely flip-flopping. You are absolutely reversing course, because I remember having this conversation with you, and I want the guy, Mundo, whoever was on the call last, to hear this too. When I was saying 2 years ago in the bubble in Orlando, there were 3 young teams on the cusp of being a young, talented team. It was the Spurs, it was Memphis, and it was Phoenix. And since that time, you've watched, obviously, Phoenix ascend to being a power in the West. You see Memphis that are a legitimate playoff contending team, talented with the cohesiveness that is necessary because they stay true to it with their draft picks. And then you have the Spurs. And you and I, Michael, had this conversation, and I said, I believe the Spurs have on this roster to make the playoffs. And you said, these were your words, is that the goal? Is that the goal to just make the playoffs? I mean, we're the Spurs. Do you really just want to make the playoffs? And I said yes, because this young, talented team, this is how you grow and build. And you wanted no part of it. You wanted to blow it all up and let them fail and tank and get a high draft pick. And we had this go around.
Quinn Hudson.
Don't come with it now. All we did was add Josh Richardson, who hasn't been healthy since he joined the league. So there's no upside to that. Everybody else we lost in second-round draft picks. That roster was already here at the beginning of the year. And if you feel like they could have made the playoffs now, then that same talent was already here.
Quinn Hudson, I want you to stay on the line for a little bit, right? Not only this story, but the next one.
Get him, Quinn.
This is where you're wrong, okay? Because the Spurs got rid of half their team in the last week. The last month, they've got rid of half their team. You're talking to me about how I'm a flip-flopper when I was talking to you when Patty Mills was out there, when Derek White was out there, when Bryn Forbes and Drew Eubanks was getting a lot of minutes. This is not the same team. I was not hopeful and optimistic about that team, but I'm getting optimistic about this team. And if they don't do well this season, that's perfectly fine, because guess what? This is the lineup that should have been there from the get-go, but it wasn't there for a reason. It's because of stubbornness, I would say, from Pop. But now with the moving and shaking going on, I'm excited about this. And we'll talk more about the Spurs in the 1 o'clock hour because I love this topic. But Quinn, stay on the line because I want your opinion on this next topic. We're talking Dallas Cowboys. I was at Radio Row with the fellas, with Rob and Rudy and Jason and Ryan Eagle. And we were out there, and Ryan Eagle and Minix interviewed Emmitt Smith. And at the end of the interview last week, we thought to ourselves, man, this is going to have legs. This is going to go viral, because Emmitt Smith, who doesn't really ever speak out against the Cowboys, kind of did. You know, reading between the lines, he was talking about leadership and accountability and things like that. And it sounded more and more like he's upset with where the team is going. Pledge, you got that soundbite? But let's hear what Emmitt Smith had to say at Radio Row last week. And what do you think about how this all went down?
You tell me, after all the things I just told you about the team.
Hell no.
I shouldn't have to answer that question. I should not have to. That's my point.
Yeah.
That is my main point right there, period. And, you know, when I think about Mike Tomlin and his team, they're very disciplined, and they are who they are. You don't have to second guess that team because you know who they are. When I think about Jim Harbaugh and his team, not Jim, John. John Harbaugh and his team, very disciplined, and they focus. They are who they are. When I look at our Cowboys, I'm looking for who we going to be. Are we going to stay the same, or are we going to just take all of this talent and waste it over 3 or 4 or 5 year time frame, assuming and expecting to do something great, doing the same things over and over and over again?
Doing the same things over and over and over again. He also said that these players are not great. They're not GOATs, he went on to say. And I found it fascinating. So Quinn Hudson, since you are the Cowboy fan amongst Cowboy fans, who do you think this was aimed at?
This is a direct shot at Mike McCarthy. This is, you know, you watch the language that Emmitt Smith is speaking, even Michael Irvin, and even Moose Johnson. You notice the one thing they are not dismissing is the fact that the Cowboys have the talent. And so the ancillary reasons that they're giving of their frustration of the Cowboys this past season falls on directly on the shoulders. You could put some on Kellen Moore, because as you see in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl, you don't have to go beyond that. Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford was going to get the ball to his receiver. He was not going to let the scheme. He was not going to let the team. He was not going to. He said it in an interview. He was going to get the ball to him. So when Kellen Moore can't do it, Mike McCarthy makes these decisions. If you're a Cowboy fan, you've been frustrated all the way back to the Tampa Bay game with decision making, fourth down when they shouldn't go, fourth downs when they should go, extra point, just everything goes wrong, and the team is not prepared. And for people to think they're going to run this back with the same coaching staff, Dan Quinn excluded from this conversation, to run it back knowing that these coaches, when they had all the ingredients to cook a good meal, didn't do it. We need new cooks in the kitchen. We need new cooks in the kitchen.
That is Quinn Hudson, former Rock the Mic champ. He's the host of the Fantasy Gods and Sunday Sports Grill. Quinn, thanks for being with us. You know, he called me a hypocrite.
Right.
But when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys,
people are going to think you're a hypocrite.
well, you know, I don't care. Things change, man. Situations change. But the situation that's not changing in Dallas is that they're going to run it back with the same players. And they don't have 3 good receivers anymore. Gallup is a free agent. Gallup is also hurt, right? Cedric Wilson is a free agent. So things are going to be changing a little bit in Dallas from a personnel standpoint. And I take a look at it. What Emmitt Smith did right there was go after Mike McCarthy. He didn't say his name, but we all knew what he was talking about. If you're talking about accountability and praising Jimmy Johnson and saying that it's not the same right now, then what you're doing is you're criticizing the coaching staff. So I found that to be very, very interesting. And, you know, that was part of the big game coverage, you know, that we had over there in at Radio Row. Was fantastic time out there. But those interviews are on SA Sports Star's website as well. You can also go to our YouTube page and check them out. Texas Cheerlicker was one of the ones that helped us out there. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Nearside app. Thank you so much for sending us out there. But man, we have more to talk about on this show. We're going till 2:00. It's Tuesdays with Teague.
Yes.
When we come back, we're going to talk about dating apps and the Tinder Swindler, which is on Netflix right now. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
When will they play ball? Will they play ball? The MLB lockout continues, and we're following it all the way to opening day. If that happens, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
The San Antonio Spurs fell to the Chicago Bulls last night, 120-109. Former Spur DeMar DeRozan dropped 40 and notched his 6th straight game with at least 35 points. The Houston Rockets were defeated by the Utah Jazz, 135-101. Donovan Mitchell had 30 points to lead all scorers and sent Houston to their 5th straight loss and their 9th loss in the last 10 games. There's plenty of hoops action for the Texas team tonight. The Dallas Mavericks begin a 5-game road swing in Miami to take on Eastern Conference leading Heat. Tip-off is at 6:30 Central Time. Texas A&M will host Florida in College Station at 6 p.m. on the SEC Network. And a basketball edition of the Red River Rivalry pits 20th-ranked Texas at Oklahoma. That game gets started at 6 p.m. on ESPN2. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
If you're a guy over 30 and feeling frustrated about your health, listen up. Not feeling yourself lately? Are work and relationships getting you down? Do you feel a lack of energy and focus on the things that matter to you most? All men around age 30 have the potential for their testosterone levels to decline naturally. When that happens, life can feel out of control. If that's you, then it's time to rethink your health with Synergenics Testosterone Replacement Therapy. For more info and to schedule an appointment, head over to 800lowt.com today and get your life back.
Here in Texas, the heat is relentless. The storms are serious. The hail is insane. Texas weather doesn't do anything halfway, and neither should your roofer. Hi, I'm Joe Reinagle. You know, your roof protects your home and your family. So whether you need a simple repair or a roof replacement, metal or composition, you need a roofer you can trust. That's Stevens Roofing. They're reputable, reliable, and have always been your local roofer. Call Stevens Roofing today for a free estimate, 210-785-0994, or go online at stevensroofing.net.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril to the very back of the nose where germs can get trapped and multiply, and then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier. Join over 2 million others and find out for yourself how refreshing and easy to use Navage is. At Navage.com, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
It's time to change the way you think about your barbershop experience. Boardroom Salon will elevate your grooming experience with first-class haircuts, shaves, styling tips, and more. Boardroom Salon is designed with your comfort and relaxation in mind, with a luxurious, sophisticated environment, complimentary beverages, and a great vibe. Let Boardroom Salon set the benchmark for the best haircut experience you've ever had at their newest salon opening on February 15th at the Rim Crossing at the corner of North Loop 1604 and I-10 in Northwest San Antonio next to Velvet Taco. In honor of the grand opening coming up, Boardroom is offering our listeners 10% off all services for a limited time using the promo code #SportsStar for new clients only. And be sure to check out Boardroom's discounted haircut memberships and gift card specials with savings up to $265 this month on their unlimited haircut memberships. Visit boardroomsalon.com/rimcrossing. Boardroom Salon. It's more than just a haircut. It's where men get ready, relax, look great, and feel confident.
That dinner was delicious. What's next?
I'm thinking just the check.
Do you frequently have gas, bloating, diarrhea, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools after eating? One or more of these symptoms could be a sign of exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, and it may be time to talk to your doctor.
If you have EPI, Creon may be right for you. Creon, pancrelipase, is an oral prescription medication that treats EPI. Creon replaces enzymes you may be missing to help you break down food properly.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosin colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Do not chew capsules or contents, as this may cause mouth irritation. Tell your doctor if you have unusual or severe stomach pain, bloating, trouble passing stool, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, worsening of painful swollen joints, or allergic reactions. Other side effects may include changes in blood sugars, gas, dizziness, or sore throat and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Talk to your doctor about Creon, the #1 prescribed EPI treatment, and visit gocreon.com. That's GOCREON.com. Or call 1-800-633-9110.
Hi, everyone. Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats here. When you bring a package of our smoked sausage home, keep it simple. It's handcrafted in small batches and fully cooked, so you can just heat it up and enjoy. My favorite way to eat it is on a bun with mustard or wrapped in a tortilla. Try some from a store near you today, and if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Guaranteed. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
The Paul Feinbaum Show.
I got more football knowledge in my little finger than you got between them two big dumbbells on your ear, buddy.
This afternoon at 2, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
This is Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix and I will get you caught up on the latest news, moves, and more this afternoon, 4 to 7 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
It's halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. On the go at sasportstar.com. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube. Search San Antonio Sports Star, like and subscribe. Hey, a big thank you to AA Best Bail Bonds for sponsoring big game coverage out in LA. They helped us get out there to Super Bowl 56 Radio Row. Again, all the videos, all the interviews from last week are on there. They're fantastic. They're not dated, man. These videos right here are conversations about life, conversations about the game, and it's good times. But again, thank you again to AA Best Bail Bonds for sponsoring big game coverage. My name is Michael Jimenez. It's Tuesdays with Teague. And on Monday night, last night, you reached out to me. I'm assuming that you were on your Valentine's Day date, and you sent me a text message asking the question, hey, have you seen The Tinder Swindler?
Yes.
Like, damn straight I have, on Netflix. Why did you want to talk about this?
Because I'm addicted to that show. If you guys watch Netflix and y'all have not seen The Tinder Swindler, or you don't have Netflix, I highly recommend you download Netflix for 1 month and cancel your free trial because you need to watch The Tinder Swindler. It is such a great movie. I watched it 3 times already.
Now, okay, so basically Tinder Swindler, and we don't want to give away the ending. Okay, so let's not do that.
Why not?
Because that's just bad form, okay? You can't tell people the ending of something, unless I'm doing a movie review on Wednesdays and the movie's 40 years old. This has only been out for a couple of weeks.
Okay, we could give
basically
the meat and potatoes.
The meat and potatoes
Okay.
is Tinder, so the dating app, swindler, some dude who steals from women that he beds and steals from, right? And he's doing this worldwide, okay? And it's about the attempts to go after him. And by the way, I just read a story on TMZ that this dude now wants to have a reality show based on him and wants to have a dating show involving him. But it's basically these girls who are being robbed, if you will, by these guys and by this guy. And what do you think is going through these girls' heads when they are giving this guy tens of thousands of dollars at a time? Now, these aren't rich women.
No.
These are people
They're
just like you
normal
and me.
less. Yeah, normal. Yeah.
I mean, what are they going through in their heads to be doing this?
Well, there's a term that we use in the Mexican culture that I don't want to say that term, but they're pretty much stupid because basically this man though, he kind of manipulates them mentally to giving him the money. Their first date, he takes them on a private jet, which first of all, I don't know about you, Michael, but I was taught to never go anywhere with strangers, especially on a first date. If a guy asked me to go on a private jet, the first thing that I think he's going to do is I think he's going to traffic me.
Yeah.
Because in our culture, we get trafficked more than anybody. So these particular people, they're from Norway. They don't really necessarily, they do have trafficking over there as well, but a red flag should go off when somebody asks you to go on a private jet. You barely know who they are.
Now, before the show, Pledger was reaching out to me saying that he did not like the topic because he's like, well, this guy is an idiot. You know, he's out there taking advantage of people, right?
Right.
But
He's
I
not
think
an idiot. He's just a bad person.
Right.
He's a bad person. He's a genius, technically.
But this can actually be a public service announcement for those who are out there on dating apps right now to be careful,
right?
Because you do not know the person that you are talking to. I take a look at my wife. I met my wife online right now. I met my wife on Match.com.
Right.
Okay. And on Match.com, she didn't know me, even though we had talked on the phone for a while. We had talked for a while, and when we went out on our first date, she did not want to go anywhere private. She says, I'm going to a football game, a high school football game. If you want to go, get a ticket, meet me out there. Okay. She was being very safe about it. But right now you see all these stories about people, being trafficked or being mugged or whatever the case may be, because the world is crappy these days.
Crazy people.
So this guy is going out there
pretending to be a billionaire son.
Yeah. I tweeted out last night that
Oh,
I blame Sex in the City for this.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, who? I blame social media for this, to be honest, over Sex in the City. I blame social media. He had this facade on social media that he was a billionaire son. This is how he trapped the women. He took them out on one fancy date, and he gave them everything they wanted on that fancy date. And then if you guys need to get the narrative part down, then he starts saying his enemies are attacking him. And he tells these ladies, my enemies are attacking me. Give me $100,000 so I can keep my lifestyle going because they're going to kill me if I don't, do this. So they fall for it and they take out loans and they give this man, they've given him upwards of $250,000.
This is interesting because, the reason why I said that I equate this to Sex in the City is because Mr. Big's character,
yes,
we're not all gonna, ladies, you're not all gonna fall in love with some billionaire or multi-millionaire. That's just not going to happen.
Right.
And it reminds me of like those schemes that go on with elderly people,
which is sad.
They get preyed upon for donations for organizations that don't exist, or they get threatened for their money or whatever the case may be. And it reminds me of elder abuse. But these are women who are educated. These are not dumb women.
Right.
But they fell
They're
in
dumb in love.
They dumb in love.
They're dumb in love. And that's the thing. Like, you're in love with this billionaire son, so you're willing to give him $250,000 so he can survive. That should be a red flag on its own. Why don't you ask your dad for some money? Why don't you ask your mom for some money? Aren't these your parents? They're billionaires. Why can't you ask your mom and dad for $250K? Why do you have to ask me? And first of all, my credit will probably get declined because you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know how he picks these women, but he did a great job, and it's essentially a Ponzi scheme. And
Oh yeah.
he's a swindler for real. He's a swindler.
Yeah, and he had to keep it going. Had to keep it going.
Had to
And
keep- yeah.
and it's just one of those things. Ponzi schemes eventually fall apart. For those of you who don't know what a Ponzi scheme is, that's when you are robbing one person, pretending to pay them back because you've robbed somebody else, and you've robbed somebody else, and you've robbed somebody else, and you're paying people back with essentially stolen money. Okay,
Very
and
true.
it's an ongoing the spinning of the plates of all the people that you're deceiving, and you're moving money around. Okay, Bernie Madoff was the one that was best known for a Ponzi scheme, which happened years ago. But that was in that's a
Another topic for another day. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a Netflix special on him as well. But it's amazing. So the reason why I wanted to bring it up is, again, red flags, ladies,
Red flags.
guys could get taken advantage of too, because sometimes
True.
they're a 4 on a scale of 1 through 10, and they're meeting some girl who's an 8 or a 9, and the red flag might be, why are they interested in you? You know what I'm saying?
What does that mean?
I believe in that. Okay, have you ever seen that movie, She's Out of My League? And they talk about that 2-point separation, that if you're a 5, you're not going to be worried. You're not going to get anybody above a 7. And if you're a 3, you're not going to get anybody above a 5. That stay within 2 points of yourself, because if it's beyond 2 points, it's hard to keep that person happy because they have other options.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying there.
I mean, is that true? I mean, because are you talking about looks wise?
Looks wise, personality wise,
Okay, it could be anything. Okay.
everything. The total score. And it's kind of hard to say that someone's a 10 and a 5 because it's all subjective.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, some people might love my personality, some people might hate it.
Mhm.
Some people might find someone attractive, and that same other person might go, no, don't see it that way.
Uh-huh.
It's all in the eyes of the beholder, but it's a funny way of thinking about it. But again, it's called The Tinder Swindler. It is on Netflix. I thought it was going to be like a TV show, like a series of shows, but it was
yeah.
it was almost like a documentary, about an hour and a half long.
It's a must watch. You have to watch it so that way you don't get swindled.
Exactly. And avoid red flags out there. Trust your gut. Trust your gut.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the thing.
I bet you this guy was like hustling, like rented one private jet. Me and my man were talking about this. He probably rented one private jet, had multiple outfits, and treated it like a photo shoot. And he would record videos to all the women that he had. Then he would switch outfits and record all the things that he had to other women too. And this is how his trap worked. And it worked flawlessly.
Again, trust your gut. It's there for a reason. And you know who else trusted his gut? Brian Wright, when he traded Derek White. When we come back, I just read a blog right now where they're basically saying that the Spurs swindled them in the last trade. We're going to break that down. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Didn't catch R&R in the morning? Here's what you missed.
It took me forever to realize that Scooby and this dude are hotheads.
They're stoned the entire show.
Because Scooby can't grab the joint, right? So Shaggy's blowing smoke
was
in
in
his
the
face.
Scooby snack.
Scooby snacks are edibles?
They're supposed to be dog food, but a Scooby snack, come on, bro. Maybe that was a brownies.
Yo, my mind is blown.
Rob Thompson, Rudy J. Weekday morning 7 to 10 on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur with words from another happy payroll customer.
My husband and I started a business together, and I had no idea where to start when it came to payroll. And a friend of mine recommended Patriot, and I have not looked back since. It was extremely user-friendly. I was actually able to understand it and run everything extremely well. And anytime I've had a question, they have been so quick to answer and help me. I definitely recommend it to anyone who is looking for a payroll software that is easy to use, user-friendly, and really offers everything that you need when it comes to something that's beneficial for your business.
Visit us at PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
PatriotSoftware.com. Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
Look, staying healthy isn't easy. Watching your diet, hitting the gym, avoiding stress. But a good night's rest helps boost your overall health and wellness. And it couldn't be easier. The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed effortlessly adjusts and responds to both of you. The result? You wake up ready for anything. Proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now, during the Ultimate Sleep Number event, save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 Limited Edition Smart Bed, plus special financing, only for a limited time. Special financing subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Exergen would like you to know about an important new study by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has always known. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Alamo Cycleplex, located at I-10, just down from Days of Allah exit. Guess what, guys? They're celebrating 50 years of being in business. 50. If you've been in business for 50 years, you're obviously doing something right. And to kick off the 50 years, guess what they did? They went and added 8,500 square feet of new showroom. I've seen it. I've posted it on my social media. Go and check it out. It looks beautiful. I can't wait for you guys to see it. The KTMs are in. And if you're a bike fan, you know what I'm talking about when I let you know those KTMs are in. And they're beautiful. They got the slingshots, KTM, wave runners, jet skis, bikes, anything and everything you can think of. They sell fun. That's what it's all about at Alamo Cycleplex. Check them out at alamocycleplex.com or just go to the location and look at the showroom yourself if you don't believe me. Go and check them out for yourself at alamocycleplex.com. alamocycleplex.com. We sell fun.
Jason Minix here for Garageization. You've heard me tell you about their shelving, overhead racks, and storage systems to make your garage functional for the entire family. If you have issues with your garage, call 210-664-4494. Have them come out and give you a free consultation. Garageization couldn't be a better choice. A veteran family-owned and operated business for more than a decade. Give them a call at 210-664-4494 or go to the website garageorganizationsanantonio.com.
Live, local, loud. KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN, AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. Michael Jimenez.
Halftime. It's hour number 2 of halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM. We're on the go at sasportstar.com. My name's Michael Jimenez, your host from 12 to 2, sports, pop culture, nostalgia, and free gifts, apparently.
Yes.
Carolina Teague is here with me right now. It's Tuesdays with Teague, and people are dropping off things for you at the station. James Pledger is having to run out to the front, come back, deliver a gift, run up to the front, and deliver another gift because you have fans who know that you're here on Tuesday, and they're dropping off free stuff.
Let me say this. I don't like to call my listeners fans because I feel like fans, to me, that means they're beneath me. I really love all the listeners that listen to the show. That means the world to me. So when they do things like this, like if you guys are looking at the live stream, they dropped me off a custom hat, and then I got some Valentine's gifts too. I just feel so grateful. So I love you guys. Thank you so much.
No, the people driving around right now at Whataburger, they're listeners. The people dropping off free stuff, they're fans. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's call that what it is.
No.
Now, Pleasure and I have a new rule.
Embroidered hats, by the way.
An embroidered lids hat. That's like a $40 hat in itself. You add the fact that it got embroidered. I mean, here's the thing though. You got a man.
Yeah.
How does your man take this?
We really think I don't like the word fans, like listeners. That's how I take everybody.
But how does your man take the fact that you get free stuff from dudes dropping things off?
As long as it's not romantic, and they're not trying to take me on a date or try to woo me in, which I don't think that's what they're trying to do. I think they're just trying to show me appreciation. He's completely fine with it.
All right, just to let you know, I'm here Monday through Friday from about 11 to 2. So if we have any listeners / fans who want to drop off stuff over here, Pledger and I would actually like to have food, okay? And if you ask, well, what do you like to eat? Well, wherever you go, as my daughter says, just get the number one, because that's the most popular thing, and that's what I want. I want the number one, but don't worry, I brought my own cheese. I'm good. But welcome back to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM. The Super Bowl Sunday was fun.
Yeah.
The Rams took out the Bengals. I was a little upset about that. I was going for the Bengals because my daughter goes to LSU. I'm a Joe Burrow fan. I'm a Jamar Chase fan. But the great thing about the game was that it had nothing to do with the game itself. The best part of the game was when they were off the field and the halftime show was on.
Yeah.
I'm still all about it. Yesterday on the show, I was going off on the show about how great it was. Snoop and Dre and an upside down 50 Cent, Mary J, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem. I was all about it. But CT, what did you think?
I loved it. It was so much fun watching. The Weeknd was last year, and I thought it was decent, but he mostly got negative reviews for his halftime show. This one knocked it out the park. Dr. Dre makes some of the best beats of all time. When Still DRE, that's one of my favorite songs. When that beat dropped, I was like, oh, I fell to the ground. I was shaking. I was curled up, because I was so excited that he was performing Still DRE. And then they had, I think it's called Tam's Burger was their setup. That's a burger joint in South California. So only people from California understood.
Thing.
Yeah, it was an inside joke thing inside thing for people who were watching it. And then I thought Eminem was gonna ruin the show because I feel like every time I listen to Eminem music, he's always a Debbie Downer. He's not like he's always talking about his mom. So I was like, what is he gonna be talking about on what performance is he gonna have for the Super Bowl? But I thought the song that he picked, the Mom Spaghetti song, that was perfect. That was perfect for the Super Bowl. So I really enjoyed the performance. And it was a great performance overall. And then Eminem took a knee too. I thought that part was just part of him saying that his part was over, but it was a great performance overall.
It's funny because I go back and the Mary J. Blige thing, man, she slowed it down. And oh my God, why have that song that makes everybody exit the dance floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe people are right that there should have been other songs out there because there's that handoff, there's that baton. Dre introduced us to Snoop, right? And then Snoop and then Dre introduced us later on to Eminem.
Correct.
Gin and Juice should have been part of that song.
Yep.
Mind on my money and my money on my mind, right? I mean, that would have been great. And it would have been interesting if Dre did a song with Eminem, Forgot About Dre.
But that's what I was hoping for too. Did that not? It didn't happen, right?
No, it didn't.
No, I was waiting for that one too because that was like in their top 3 songs. And also too, Shady Aftermath. So Dr. Dre, Eminem. So when I saw that 50 Cent wasn't performing and then I found out 50 Cent was performing, I was like, okay, this is a full-blown Aftermath special. So it was great.
Now, if you remember, when they first revealed him, he was singing those lyrics to Forgot About Dre. Everybody want to talk, but nobody moves their mouth. So it's gibberish.
But it would have been great to have that whole interplay with Slim Shady type of thing.
But
going
it
on.
was alluded to within it during M's reveal out of the side of the stage.
That's right. You're right. It did. He just like rapped it a cappella, right? Or something like that. Okay.
And there was no hologram for Tupac. How was there not a Tupac poster, banner, hologram,
Yeah.
something to honor Tupac, because that would have made it even more brilliant. You know, earlier this morning, I'm going back and I started watching some of these old halftime shows because, again, this was the one that spoke to me because it hit my age group, right? I'm class of 95.
Yeah.
You know, this music came on. Dude, Carolina, my family's from California. They're from Southern California. It's not South Central, but it's more Southeast.
Okay.
And I was there a few years ago and I was getting a haircut.
Okay.
And all of these songs were coming out, you know, Dre and all that. It was on the radio, and the young guys are cutting my hair. And I was like, man, I remember when this song came out. I was a junior in high school.
Wow.
I remember when this song came out. I was a freshman in college. And these kids, I say kids, they're in their early to mid 20s. You know, they're new to cutting hair, right? They ran over to me and they go, man, I wish I was your age. I wish I was born when you were, because these songs, to think that they had just been released and they were on the radio, and I goes, we have to listen to it 20 years later, but it came out when you were a teen, when you were a young adult, and it was so funny seeing these young guys just be all excited about the fact that I was 40 years old at the time.
Well, it's cool to be like that. I mean, honestly, people think age is like a bad thing. I feel like age is like should be graceful, and we should all appreciate every era. And the era you were in is a great era because you had Biggie, you had Tupac, you guys had NWA, you guys had all those people that were just set the tone for the rest of hip hop and rap and the generation to move forward. And then you see them do the halftime show, breaking history. It was incredible. And speaking of Pac, I know you brought up Pac. I literally said when they played Tupac's song, you know how incredible that would have been for Pac to be performing at the halftime show. Can you imagine Tupac performing? I was so sad. I'm so sad that he's no longer here.
If Tupac was alive, he'd be an Oscar winner by now.
For sure.
The guy was brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this. I am now convinced that Tupac is dead. Because like I thought during California Love there was like a 12% chance that like Pac was just gonna pop up on stage. I am now officially certain that this happened and he wasn't there, that he is dead.
Yes, the Tupac Machiavelli thing.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
You know, I was going back in time today and watching old halftime shows. It was so interesting watching some of the old ones out there. Like I'd say old ones. The last 10 years, we've had some really good ones.
Yeah.
You know, Bruno Mars was really, really good.
Great.
Maroon 5 sucked. Beyonce was fine. Going back in time, I watched the whole
JT
Prince one. It was all right.
Prince knocks everybody out the park.
Yeah, and what's funny is that Prince sang Foo Fighters songs. He sang a Foo Fighters song out there, and it was The Best of You is what he sang, which was fantastic. But going back in time, though, was so cool. But I think Lady Gaga's was amazing. And you know, she came lowered from the rafters and did her thing out there. Was amazing. But I wonder who it's going to be next year. It's in Super Bowl's in Phoenix. We need a Riri one, but she's pregnant. I don't know if she have the ability to turn it around.
That would be great.
But that's the one that's missing. We haven't had a Rihanna one.
We need a Rihanna one, and we also need. Actually, can I say one of my favorites is Paul McCartney? Do you remember Paul McCartney from back in the day? He was with the Beatles.
Yeah.
His performance was spectacular too. I think there's a lot of Super Bowl performances. I have no clue who's performing next. I feel like all the great artists perform except for Rihanna. I want Cardi B to perform too.
What if there's a 90s grunge one of those that are
They
still
need that.
alive? Okay, so there's not a lot of them left, right? So a Pearl Jam, a Smashing Pumpkins type of thing, that would be amazing. By the way, the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN. We're going to be talking about the Spurs coming up. So if you want to talk about the Spurs, Derek White trade, the fact that I'm still basking in the glow that he's gone. We're going to be talking about the best Facebook and YouTube comments around 1:30, 1:35, around there. If you want to talk to us about pop culture, whatnot, we are here for it. So I am going. Oh, by the way, Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN. You know, whenever I read about the Spurs, you know, I go to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. I go to The Athletic. Pounding the Rock is really good as well. And also I follow the things that we do here at San Antonio Sports Star. But there is a website called CelticsBlog.com, and this is a few days old.
Yeah.
But it says
I already know.
the headline says the Derek White trade is a disaster. Sorry, folks. Brad Stevens made his first major mistake as GM, and it goes on to say that the Spurs took advantage of the Celtics, that we robbed them. So, well, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel as a Spurs fan, seeing that these reporters in Boston think that the Spurs took advantage of that team?
How does it make me feel?
Yeah.
It makes me feel like Derek White has continuously been disrespected throughout the media, and this blog is no exception to that.
But it's not from us, it's from their point of view.
He just barely got there, like his flight didn't even land, and he's already getting skewered. Like he barely unpacked his bags, and then this blog comes out saying it's a disaster. And then look at him, he comes off the bench. He scored, I think, 14 the first game.
Yeah.
Then like I don't know, he scored double digits both games.
Yeah, so
against the Celtics, following his landing to the Celtics, coming off the bench. So I don't necessarily think he's a starter for the Celtics yet. I mean, we have to see. That's to be determined. But he played well, and this fool here with this blog over here, just had the worst thing to say about my man Derek.
It's so funny because I think that Derek White would be a fantastic six-man for a contending team.
I agree.
And it's interesting because this reporter here says, here are the facts. Josh Richardson is a better shooter than Derek White. And when he heard of the trade, he thought it was for Derek White for Josh Richardson. He goes, that upset me. And then he goes, but wait a minute. He later learned that Romeo Langford, who was in the lottery, drafted from the lottery a few years ago, that he was included as well. He was like, what are you talking about? On top of that, the 2022 first-round draft pick, he was pissed off for a straight-up Richardson for White trade.
Mm-hmm. And
when he heard everything else that was part of it, he goes, we got robbed.
He goes, what is going on?
We got robbed. Yeah. But man, the Spurs, they did really well because Richardson's going to be a big part of this team potentially throughout the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the Spurs bought out Goran Dragic today.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting. He got drafted by the Spurs way back when, never played for the Spurs, got traded for again, then gets bought out. It's never going to happen. He's never going to wear a Spurs uniform. So enjoy the photoshopped ones that you see online right now. But man, I take a look at it. And when it comes to this whole trade and where the Spurs are going right now, I like where the Spurs are going right now. Lonnie Walker looking fantastic out there. Again, the Spurs lost to the Bulls last night. They were within 2 points with 2.5 minutes to go. Spurs were up by 5 at some point late in the third quarter. They were looking very, very good. But, it just fell off. It just fell off. DeMar DeRozan just had a monster game and just blew up 40 points.
Monster fourth quarter, 19 points in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. He couldn't be stopped. There was nobody to guard him.
He could not be stopped. Unguardable. And even Doug McDermott said that post-game. He said, DeMar DeRozan in that moment was unguardable. Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy because, again, he is someone who plays the mid-range game, and he was just unguardable. But the highlight for me, though, of this game, the literal highlight was the tomahawk jam that Lonnie Walker did at the end of the third quarter. But I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking to myself, if Lonnie Walker finishes out the season strong, I might want him back. And I cannot believe that I'm saying that because for so long, and I've been saying this, Carolina, for the longest time, I want Lonnie Walker to succeed.
Me too. I've been saying that for the longest time too. And I've been going super hard for Lonnie Walker to be successful. But throughout the season, he has been inconsistent. But these past 2 games, which is only 2 games, he has been very good coming off the bench.
But he has a different role, though.
Right.
And that's the thing.
The change we're talking about.
They are giving him the ability to handle the ball and not have to come around screens. He's the secondary ball handler out there.
Right.
Obviously the primary is going to be DeJounte Murray, but Lonnie Walker is doing different things. He is now attacking the basket because he has the ball in his hand to do that.
Right.
When Derek White was out there, essentially what they were relegating him to do, by the way, Lonnie, is to sit in the corner, catch the ball, and shoot.
Okay.
They were turning him into Bruce Bowen.
Yeah.
They were turning him into that. And
Yeah.
that's not his play. He's a more athletic player. He
Uh-huh.
needs to attack the bucket. And that's what he's been doing
That's
the
what he's been
past
doing.
couple of days because he has the ability. He has the rock in his hands. He's getting the ball at the top of the key. He can do something now. He's at the wings. He can do something. And they're setting him up for success, which is going to be kind of weird because if he was out the door,
Uh-huh.
would he be averaging 28 minutes per game the last 2 games?
Oh, let me ask you this. So basically what your consensus is, so let me wrap that up. Your consensus is that Lonnie was not utilized properly throughout this season. And now that Derek White is gone, he's now being used in the way that he should be being used. And we're experimenting right now to see how that's going to lead throughout the rest of the season. Is that what we're doing right now?
Yes, and the
Okay.
same thing with Devin Vassell as well, because he is a
Right.
starter, because Devin Vassell has a higher ceiling than a Derek White. And I honestly, I'm a big fanboy of Devin Vassell. I
Uh-huh.
think Devin Vassell has the second highest ceiling on this Spurs roster. People would think that it's going to be Keldon, but I really like the fact that Devin Vassell is out there. I've been a big fan. And again, the Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are open at 656 ESPN. Gary, I know that you're there. We're going to get you at the next segment.
I struggle mentally with the order that you go in. Like I know number 1 is DeJounte, best
Yeah.
player on the team. I think Jakob Poeltl is underrated. He's my personal number 2 because I love his consistency. And number 3, I struggle whether that's Keldon or Devin Vassell. So we'll see what happens.
Right. And I agree with you to an extent where, right now, Jakob has had a very, very good year and he has stepped it up against elite fives.
Yes.
Because in
Yes.
past years, he has not done that.
Right.
He's also been more aggressive in putting the ball in the rim.
Yep.
As opposed to laying it up there, he's dunking it more often. He's taking it stronger to the bucket. That's great. My thing about it is that Jakob Poeltl will never be an elite 5. He can be a
Yeah.
very good 5.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Very good 5. And you know what? He can be a serviceable 5 for a contending team. So nothing wrong with that. I'm fine with him being out there. But I'm looking at what is the high side.
Right.
What can we see?
ceiling.
Because we've seen DeJounte Murray this year take that big leap.
Yeah.
And I knew that he had a leap in him, but I didn't think it was going to be flirting with a triple-double every single game type of leap. Okay.
No, he earned that too.
He's an all-star, averaging 20 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, leading the league in steals with 2.1. The dude is a stud.
Okay.
I never thought he could have that leap. But the question is, of the other Spurs, who has the highest ceiling to get that type of leap?
Okay, that makes sense to me now because when I look at my order that I just said was more so for like who I trust with consistency.
Like right now.
Right now. But with like ceiling wise, you're right. It could be Devin Vassell. He definitely has that. I think he has that it look. He has it. That's what I think.
I'm trying to go back in time to, of these players, whether it be Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, or Josh Primo, which one of those guys is going to get you there to the highest point? Now, with Josh Primo, you have the ability to say he's 19 years old and he is not afraid to shoot the ball. He's not afraid to fail.
Right.
Which is a trait that is very difficult to teach. Devin Vassell is a great two-way player. I see Devin Vassell as, what is his ceiling? A mini Kawhi? I'm not going to say that he's going to be a top 5 player like Kawhi was when he was healthy, but can he be 80% of what Kawhi Leonard was because he's able to bring it on both sides?
Right.
Keldon Johnson, we've seen him turn into a deadly 3-point shooter, and he's able to learn more and more. The Spurs have a second star in the stable right now. I just don't know which one it's going to be first.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it would probably be Vassell first, just based off what year they're in.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why I would say Vassell over Primo. Keldon, that's the part where I get confused. That's why I'm so confused because I'm like, Keldon, I feel like he should have been a lot more consistent this season, even though I think he's been playing great this season, especially from the 3-point line. He can shoot from every angle at the arc. That's what I like about Keldon. But is he somebody that can be reliable, consistent every single game? Is he maxed out at this point with his potential? Probably not. I think I give it about 1 or 2 more years to see what his true potential is. Vassell, I think he could reach his peak at a faster rate. And I think his peak could possibly take it just a little bit further. But I do also think, too, Keldon does have potential to have a very high peak.
And the Spurs have a lot of draft capital right now. Got 3 first-round draft picks this year, have 2 in 25. We have the Bulls in 2025. We have the Raptors and Celtics this year. Again, we're going to cheer against the Raptors. We're going to cheer against the Celtics because we need that draft capital to be worth more. When we come back, we're going to hear from the fans. Gary's on line 1. We'll talk to him when we come back. On top of that, we're going to read some of the best comments on Facebook and YouTube. You can also reach out to us. This is your time to shine, baby. 656 ESPN. You want to talk about what we've talked about today with the Spurs, the Derek White trade. You want to talk about, should Lonnie Walker get a second look? Should we look at bringing him back? More to talk about. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Come on, you gloomy guy. There's no reason to be sad. The NFL isn't over. It's just starting.
Hey, listen up.
Dry those eyes, blow your nose, and pay attention. There's tons of football on the way. Free agency, retirements, trades, the combine, the draft, OTAs, mini camps, injuries, training camp, and a whole lot more. Cheer up. There's a lot of NFL, and we're on top of all of it. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
That dinner was delicious. What's next?
I'm thinking just the check.
Do you frequently have gas, bloating, diarrhea, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools after eating? One or more of these symptoms could be a sign of exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, and it may be time to talk to your doctor.
If you have EPI, Creon may be right for you. Creon, pancrelipase, is an oral prescription medication that treats EPI. Creon replaces enzymes you may be missing to help you break down food properly.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Do not chew capsules or contents as this may cause mouth irritation. Tell your doctor if you have unusual or severe stomach pain, bloating, trouble passing stool, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, worsening of painful swollen joints, or allergic reactions. Other side effects may include changes in blood sugars, gas, dizziness, or sore throat and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Talk to your doctor about Creon, the #1 prescribed EPI treatment, and visit gocreon.com. That's GOCREON.com. Or call 1-800-633-9110.
If you're on the job day in and day out, you know living with pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders is miserable. The good news, QC Kinetics gets it. They understand guys like you.
They don't have the luxury of taking time off. They want to keep working. We are built for those guys that want to keep working and want to stay active. So the vast majority of who we see are the blue-collar guys like me and you.
QC Kinetics uses biologic therapies, just like pro athletes have used for years, to get you lasting pain relief with no surgery.
I want you to continue working. I want you to continue exercising. The joints are made to be moved.
The treatments at QC Kinetics are fast and non-invasive.
It's not a lot of time commitment on your part. There is no downtime or recovery time. You don't need short-term disability with what we do. We want to keep you active.
Call QC Kinetics now to set up your free no-obligation consultation. Learn how you can get real pain relief and stay on the job.
QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318 in Hollywood Park and Westover Hills. Call 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318.
When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. If you're having to rework your office, let Hill Electric design your socially distanced space to ensure each workstation has the proper electrical needs. For over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. There is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Got a party of 10 coming in. We need to flip those 2 tables.
Leah's restaurant is fully booked night after night.
Section 3 is still behind.
She no longer has reservations about finally finding a hostess.
Why doesn't 23 have menus? Oh, they're in my hand.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Hola, Carla speaking. Carla's roofing company always goes above and beyond.
Yeah, we heard about next week's forecast.
She needs a new foreman to weather a storm of projects.
You mean another full crew before Wednesday? Mira, Jose, can you work Wednesday?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Join up the game plan for the second half of the day. It's halftime with Michael Jimenez on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 103.3 FM, on the go at sasportstar.com. We're live right now on Facebook and on YouTube. Search San Antonio Sports Star, like and subscribe. Leave some comments. Take a look at me. Take a look at Pledge. Take a look at CT, Carolina Teague in the house. Hey, what up? So here's the thing. We've had a lot of things that we've talked about. We talked about the Spurs. We've had a lot of Derek White slander. I'm being accused of that right now on Facebook Live, that I am slandering Derek White. I am not.
You are not.
But
You're
by
not.
the way, I took a look at his stats. He was a 30% three-point shooter with the Spurs this year. He's shooting 29.5% now as a Celtic. Some things never change. But this is time for the listeners. This is time for the people who follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Some of the best comments of today. Gary wants to reach out, talk about the halftime show. He has somebody that he wants to see next year. Who is that, Gary?
I would like to see Outkast. I know they're not doing music together anymore, but they are both still alive and have quite a few great hits. That would be a heck of a show to see for halftime.
I agree. I agree with you, Gary, because I feel like when it comes to the South and Southern music, a lot of Southern rappers and artists from back in the day, they tend to fall, to the side a little bit, and they're a lot more underrated than the West Coast rappers and the East Coast rappers at the time. I feel like the South has something to prove in my Outkast voice, and I think it would be a great performance. They have a ton of hits, and I think the South has something to say for halftime.
Now,
the South has something to say.
Unfortunately for Outkast, Big Boy performed in the halftime show a couple of years ago. So you have Andre 3000, Big Boy. I love Outkast.
Yeah.
By the way, I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm like the biggest fan, but there's a lot from the Love Below album. I mean, fantastic.
Uh-huh.
But
AT-Aliens.
yes,
that
that's
too.
great too.
That Rosa Parks song.
Yeah. It's good times. But he was out there, but it was so sad because a couple of years ago, Maroon 5 took the stage in Atlanta. Out of all that music in Atlanta, Maroon 5.
Maroon 5. Can you believe that?
Really? Songs about Jane, Maroon 5 was out there performing. No. But I'm taking a look right now at Arizona Central, which is basically Phoenix's newspaper, and they're talking about who they want to see, who their contenders are.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they brought out Rihanna.
Yes.
That's one of the ones they want to see. I cannot believe that we've yet to see a Taylor Swift halftime show.
I wouldn't watch it.
You wouldn't watch it?
No, I wouldn't.
What about, they're also asking, what about Drake?
Oh, yeah, that would be cool. I'd like to see Drake.
And
I'd like to see a country artist too. Like, I like country music. Why don't they ever? When is a country music artist gonna be?
Because it gets boring.
You
man.
think so? I like country music.
And now, back in the day when you had a Shania Twain or a Garth Brooks,
yeah,
that type of country, which is universal,
right?
Because that became pop. Man, people do not know, who are young right now, who are in their early 20s, they do not know how big Shania and Garth Brooks was, and how big it was when Taylor Swift first came out, or all of that stuff. I've seen George Strait in concert. I love me some George Strait.
Right.
Okay, George Strait, when my wife and I are driving, that's on a lot. But watching a show of his is...
You want to take a nap?
I did take a nap. And that is not George Strait slander, okay? It's just he's a crooner. He needs to be in a theater. Seeing him at a stadium is a little bit rough, man. It's just not his thing, It's not entertaining. It's it's nostalgic. It's just not. That's just not it, right? But you take a look at like a show like Garth Brooks. I've seen Tim McGraw in concert. He's amazing. But they're energetic. They're out there interacting with fans. They're moving around. But Rocky Casillas reaches out on YouTube and says those HEB commercials with George Strait are pretty good. They are. But a country, I mean, who would you want as the country halftime show?
I don't know. You know what? I like, well, I guess I'm from Texas. I say Randy Rogers. Randy Rogers will get me up out of my seat, but not everybody doesn't know Randy Rogers. Nobody knows Randy Rogers.
No one outside of Helotes knows who Randy Rogers is. Okay, no one
I changed
outside
my
of
mind. Maybe country is not the genre, because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I like Randy Rogers, but nobody else does outside of Texas. Like, nobody.
It's a regional thing.
It's a regional thing, like cultish. I'm like a cult Randy Rogers follower.
I mean, I remember when Creed played at Jerry World. It was so bad. It was so bad. But man, it's funny. They're running out of artists, because unless they're going to get Taylor Swift out there, who, again, I know you said that you wouldn't be excited about that, but
No,
there's a universal appeal to Taylor Swift. There's a universal appeal towards
well, what about Gwen Stefani? She's universal. She's cool. She has hits for days.
That is not a bad choice right there.
Didn't she do one with Beyonce?
You know what?
Did she?
I thought she did one.
Oh Lord, see, there's nobody left. If Gwen Stefani performed with Beyonce, there's literally nobody left. I like Gwen Stefani. She's dope. I love her.
Oh, she is amazing. I've seen her in concert.
Or was it the one in Dallas with the Black Eyed Peas she did?
But she did. I mean, it wasn't like she was the main course.
No.
Have the Black Eyed Peas performed already?
They have, but it's also not 2008 also. So
oh yeah.
It's 2000 late.
Yes, 2008 for sure. It's 2008. Yes. Perfect.
So I think Rihanna is the perfect choice. I think Drake would be interesting.
Have you ever seen Rihanna live? I have. She cannot throw a lot. I love Rihanna to death. That's my girl. I'm wearing Fenty Beauty on my face right now. I'm wearing Fenty Lip. And her music is amazing. But when she performs live, it's not the best. I'm just going to be straight up with you.
How about this? Dua Lipa with Hayley Williams from Paramore.
Oh, that would be great.
I mean, because Hayley Williams will oftentimes sing Dua Lipa songs.
Uh-huh.
You're kind of on the track that I want to go on.
You want to go with Halsey and MGK?
I was actually going to suggest Paramore. Because Hayley Williams, Paramore, you could bring in some of the newer artists like Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah.
On top of that, if you brought in like an MGK, Blink 182, like a tribute to punk pop,
they need
both
to do that.
old
and
and new.
Finish with Avril.
And finish with Avril because she's hot.
Lord, why you gotta go and make things so complicated?
Exactly. We have
that would be great.
We have figured this out. I also want to have one of New Jack Swing. I would love to see a New Edition / Belle Biv DeVoe / Bobby Brown / Johnny Gill, because again, I mean, they were great as a group. They were also great individually. A little bit of a throwback.
What about Janet Jackson getting a do-over? That would be dope.
Only if Justin Timberlake's there.
Yeah, no Justin Timberlake.
No, he's got to be there.
Yeah.
If we're doing the do-over, we need the whole thing.
Yes, we're gonna have you naked by the end of this song.
Yeah, I don't want him to rip off anything accidentally. Keep him away from her. Just have Janet by herself. At least maybe with somebody else, maybe with Beyonce or something like that. Have Janet do a do-over. I feel like she deserves a do-over. Because after that halftime incident, for the rest of her life, she was blackballed, allegedly.
I don't buy any of it. That was all staged and choreographed, man. That's just basically what it is. We have some comments out here. Luis Alberto Arizaga, my bad, talking that says that lineup came half a season too late, Mike. Talking about the fact that people accused me of being a flip-flopper when it came to the Spurs because I wanted this lineup of Vassell, of DeJounte Murray, of McBuckets, of Keldon Johnson, and Jakob Poeltl. Again, they're saying, yeah, that's all great and all, but that came half a season too late. And
to be fair, he's right, because as you were talking with Quinn about the bubble and the Phoenix Suns, there's a stark difference between what the Suns did and what the Spurs did. The Spurs continued to try and force vets. The Suns added one Chris Paul and let their young guys run free the rest of the way.
I don't think that they try to force vets. And the reason,
what are you talking about?
well, I mean, just because based off the information that I got from Thad Young and his team or the sources that I had, they spoke to me. They said that when he arrived back from Team USA basketball, he was told directly that they wanted to revive the youth and focus more on the youth, and that's why he didn't have any minutes. So
the Spurs for many, many years just trotted out there Bryn Forbes, even though he couldn't play defense.
Did that this year.
They relied too much on Patty Mills, who I still love and I think would have been a great player, but they had to move on from him.
yeah.
Derek White. There's a lot of players out there that have lower ceilings that they've been bringing out there for many, many years. And Chris Gonzalez, which is out on Facebook, he's I guess sticking up for me here. Says you have the right to change a decision because you have new information.
Truth.
You do, but then people online, and that's what I said I'm concerned about. People have the right to call you a flip-flopper. That's what people are doing.
It is not flip-flopping. It is just using the information you have at your disposal at the time, because you don't want to be that old guy that's scared of computers because you never learn. As you evolve, your takes evolve. You evolve as a person. You evolve your takes. You evolve everything about yourself, because you have to continue to grow as a person.
Ronald Schmidt.
That was great. You're like Zordon from Power Rangers behind the glass. That was perfect.
Ronald Schmidtka reaches out and basically says, I'm combining some of his thoughts, saying that I am a flip-flopper, but that I have to have faith in the Spurs and the front office at all times and always want them to win. The fact of the matter is that they've never had a trade deadline just like this. They've never had the ability to go out and get 2 first-rounders and get some young players and go out there and get other second-rounders. They've never done this before, so why would I expect them to do that? The Spurs have done everything that I've ever wanted. If I jotted down my top 10 things that I want the Spurs to accomplish this year, they've done all 10. So that's why I'm changing kind of my attitude. If they win, they win. If they don't, they don't. It's not about this year. It's about future years. It's about this offseason. What are they going to do with the new cap space that they've got? What are they going to do with these 3 first-round draft picks? Are they going to maybe package them to trade up? Are they going to try to go after a different player, Karl Anthony Towns? Are they going to go after a Zach LaVine? It's kind of interesting because imagine next year, Carolina, a Spurs starting lineup with Cat, maybe Pirtle, maybe they do a twin tower type of thing, along with Keldon, Vassell, and DeJounte Murray. I'm sorry, but that team is scary.
Yeah.
Or you add a Zach LaVine out there and you move Vassell to 3, or maybe you flip-flop, maybe you package one of your young guys. That's the exciting part about what the Spurs have, is that now the Spurs have options. And Boteo Franklin basically says, yeah, we did rob them. He says, we robbed the Boston Celtics. Derek White was a 29th pick, and we received 2 lottery picks and a draft pick out of it. Or 2 lottery players and a draft pick, because the Spurs got Romeo Langford and got Josh Richardson out of the deal.
I do like the moves that the Spurs made during the trade. All the picks that they got, all the capital that they freed up. I thought everything that they did was pretty good.
Yeah, Rocky reaches out on YouTube and says, DeAndre Ayton. Well, the Spurs have the draft capital. The Spurs have, packaged 2 firsts and Gaga for it. Let's make this happen. It's very, very possible. But man, we have one more segment to go. Tuesdays with Teague. Kielbasa Bacon phone lines are still open at 656 ESPN. Again, that is 656 ESPN. Don't be shy. Give us a call. This is Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Our shoes have more miles on them than your car does. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
The San Antonio Spurs fell to the Chicago Bulls last night, 120-109. Former Spur DeMar DeRozan dropped 40 and notched his 6th straight game with at least 35 points. The Houston Rockets were defeated by the Utah Jazz, 135-101. Donovan Mitchell had 30 points to lead all scorers and sent Houston to their 5th straight loss and their 9th loss in the last 10 games. There's plenty of hoops action for the Texas team tonight. The Dallas Mavericks begin a 5-game road swing in Miami to take on Eastern Conference leading Heat. Tip-off is at 6:30 Central Time. Texas A&M will host Florida in College Station at 6 p.m. on the SEC Network. And a basketball edition of the Red River Rivalry pits 20th-ranked Texas at Oklahoma. That game gets started at 6 p.m. on ESPN2. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Carl Schoening.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, we could try to fill the remaining time with awkward pauses. It's often done for comedic effect. Is it working? I can't tell if this is funny. Maybe this is so bad it's funny. Wow, we really peaked at the save big when you switched to Progressive part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
O'Reilly.
This is Sarah's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
Driving cross country with 2 young children is ambitious, to say the least. Then our check engine light came on. We pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts and they tested it. Turned out it was a faulty sensor. They referred us to a great mechanic just down the street and we were back on the road in no time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hola, Carla speaking. Carla's roofing company always goes above and beyond.
Yeah, we heard about next week's forecast.
She needs a new foreman to weather a storm of projects.
You mean another full crew before Wednesday? Mira, Jose, can you work Wednesday?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
It's time to change the way you think about your barbershop experience. Boardroom Salon will elevate your grooming experience with first-class haircuts, shaves, styling tips, and more. Boardroom Salon is designed with your comfort and relaxation in mind, with a luxurious, sophisticated environment, complimentary beverages, and a great vibe. Let Boardroom Salon set the benchmark for the best haircut experience you've ever had at their newest salon opening on February 15th at the Rim Crossing at the corner of North Loop 1604 and I-10 in Northwest San Antonio next to Velvet Taco. In honor of the grand opening coming up, Boardroom is offering our listeners 10% off all services for a limited time using the promo code #SportsStar for new clients only. And be sure to check out Boardroom's discounted haircut memberships and gift card specials with savings up to $265 this month on their unlimited haircut memberships. Visit boardroomsalon.com/rimcrossing. Boardroom Salon. It's more than just a haircut. It's where men get ready, relax, look great, and feel confident.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490.
It's drive and determination.
Catching a right-hand dunk.
It's magic and mayhem.
Long three is good.
We've got NBA action live on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Hey guys, it's Rudy J. Your home for sports talk is right here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Upload a photo of what's on your grill and enter a description and recipe at sasportstar.com, and you can win a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Again, a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. Winner chosen every Thursday at 6 on the Blitz. Welcome back to halftime on San Antonio Sports Star. You know, the ratings are out for Super Bowl 56. 112 million people watched, which is higher than last year. Last year was around 98 million. So, you know, football's back, baby. You know, those bad ratings, they bounced back up. And I found it interesting that nearly 2 million people watched it in Spanish on Telemundo.
Wow. Period.
I know.
Ratings are up.
All these people saying, oh, it's going to be bad ratings, man. No, who wants to watch the Bengals? No one cheers for the Rams. I'm like, man.
Everybody.
Super Bowl Sunday is a holiday.
It's a holiday. I was just, it was a pinch poke. You owe me a Coke.
Yeah.
Me and you are on the same wavelength. Super Bowl is a holiday.
It could be next year, Arizona Cardinals and Jacksonville Jaguars. 100 million people will watch.
It should be a federal holiday. We all deserve the day off after Super Bowl.
The next day.
Yeah,
right.
we do.
Or move it to a Saturday or something, you know.
I like the Sundays, but I think we all deserve, as a collective, we deserve to party. We deserve to eat all the wings that we want to. The next day, we should all be able to take off.
Kind of like how Thanksgiving's a holiday, but everyone gets off on Friday too.
Correct. Just like that.
So that is the voice of Carolina Teague, CT. It's always Tuesdays with Teague. Now, one of the things that was kind of interesting was over the weekend going through Twitter and Instagram and seeing some throwback photos that you posted. They're not throwback, but they look throwback.
Right. So they're image shots that we used to take back in the day at school. And I wanted to take them over again because I was using it to promote this show, Halftime. And I feel like it's pop culture, sports, and nostalgia. And what is more nostalgic than taking image shot photos like you did from back in the day? And then you would take the pictures and you give them to all your friends. And if you didn't get a picture from one of your friends, you kind of felt like, are you really my friend? Because you're not giving me a picture. So now I have the image shots. And if you guys follow me on Twitter at Carolina Teague _ and you guys DM me your address, I will give you one of my image shot pics. I'm mailing them out this weekend. So wanted to say that.
What was the name of the company that would do those photos back in the day?
Image Shots.
Was it Image Shots?
It was called Image Shots.
There was another one out there that
Glamour Shots.
Glamour Shots. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So back in the day, I'm so ashamed to admit this, but it probably says a lot about me. Me and a few of my guy friends out there, we went and did Glamour Shots. we were in khaki pants with dress shirts. Along with our softball hats, because we played men's league baseball while we were in high school, and we all got together. We had our baseball bats in front of us, and we posed with the baseball bats. It's so bad. And
my God, you have to bring it.
I gotta find it. I see it from time to time when I'm like moving things around in the garage.
Yeah.
You know, I see that photo, and I'm both smiling and mortified.
Wow. Post it to promote Halftime for next Tuesdays with Teague. Find that old photo of your glamour shot.
Well, at the very least, what I can do is provide a photo of my high school yearbook or maybe some prom photos or something like that, because that's the throwback right there, is to go back in time and see those photos. I was basically dressed as though I was the 6th member of Boys to Men when I was in high school. I would wear like my denim shirt with these pants with a tie. Oh my God, I cannot believe I used to wear that. What were you like in high school? What did you wear?
In high school, I was pregnant. I was a teen mom. So like I just wore maternity clothes. And also I was in high school, and I remember I would wear a lot of high waters. Like I just had no style. I was such a loser. I had no style. I wore hand-me-downs. My mom would buy stuff at the garage sale and she'd give it to me, and I just like wore whatever. So like I was probably like on the worst dress list. Like my style was so bad. And it wasn't until I got pregnant that's when I started to have my style. So that was my high school experience. It was just a mess. It was a mess.
Yeah, go back.
My high school was a mess.
When we go back in time, it's a little bit weird. But here's the thing. My haircut has been the same since I was in 8th grade. Like it's the same. All the 1.5 blended up, mid-ear, square in the back. I've had the same haircut since then. But man,
Some things never change.
I am pretty excited about tomorrow. So Tuesdays with Teague is a thing, but Wednesday, it's all about the movie reviews. And people love them. People hate them. People love to hate them. And tomorrow, typically I go by a poll. Put on Twitter, what do you want me to watch? And Bloodsport was the winner. But Joe Reinagle has stepped in, our buddy here at San Antonio Sports Star, has jumped in to say that he has a special request. And he wants to join me and Rudy J tomorrow as I review An Officer and a Gentleman starring Richard Gere.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a good actor. I'm
And
sure you
Rudy's
like
watching
it.
Truman Show, right?
And Rudy is supposed to watch Truman Show on HBO Max, which, by the way, I watched this morning at 6 a.m. It's one of my favorite movies. I can watch that like crazy. Don't know if you like the Truman Show.
I like it. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
But speaking of Joe and Joe Reinagle, today he and Jason Minix will be at the Boardroom Salon on 1604 and I-10 from 4 to 7. That's where they're broadcasting the Blitz.
It's next to the Velvet Taco, right in front of the Andretti's carts and near the Top Golf.
Again, that's the Boardroom Salon on 1604 and I-10 from 4 to 7. Minix, Reinagle, the Blitz. Carolina Teague, thank you for being with me today. I hope you had a good time.
Thank you. I always have a good time with you guys. It's Tuesdays with Teague, so make sure you guys tune in next Tuesday because your girl will be back. And I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the gifts.
And next Tuesday, if anyone's bringing her gifts, bring me and Pleasure food. Again, we like #1 with cheese.
You guys are piggybacking on my gifts?
This is halftime on San Antonio Sports Star.
Roll home with Joe Reinagle and Jason Minix.
At Joe Kens 5, at Jason Minix, at SA Sports Star, or you can also do it on Instagram. Now, Reinagle's Instagram is different. It's Joe Reinagle _ Kens 5.
For another month.
And then it's going to be Joe Star.
That's good.
There might be some porn dude that's already stolen that one.
That might be, right?
The Blitz, weekday afternoons at 4. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 103.3 FM.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Exergen would like you to know about an important new study by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has always known. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Guys, did you know that starting around age 30, men's testosterone levels can decline naturally? As a result, you may experience low energy, lack of focus, problems in the bedroom, or even depression. If that's you, then it's time to rethink your health. The solution? Testosterone replacement therapy with Synergenics. It's easy. Just take the test at one of our clinics in the San Antonio area. For more info and to schedule an appointment, head over to 800lowt.com today and get your life back.